Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're unpacking something pretty fascinating, the blueprint of DreamPlay's tokenized city. You know, if you've ever sat back and wondered, how exactly do these digital economies scale from a single, tiny idea into a massive, thriving ecosystem, well, you are in exactly the right place. We're going to skip all the typical Web3 buzzwords today. Instead, we're looking at how simple, totally accessible individual contributions act as the literal raw materials to build a living digital economy right from the ground up.
Okay, so here's our blueprint for today. We'll be covering 5 parts. First, the tokenized city vision. Second, claiming your city lot. Third, sponsoring the AI builders. Fourth, lighting up the grid. And finally, the belief chain journey. Let's just dive right in. Section 1, the tokenized city vision. Basically, laying out the grid. So the entire philosophy of the city boils down to this one simple, but honestly super powerful mantra. Sponsor a worker, light up a lot, build the city. What I absolutely love about this is how it makes complex tokenization feel relatable, you know? Think about a physical neighborhood. It doesn't just magically appear. You don't even need a hard hat. It's just people claiming a space, bringing in workers, and building it step by step. DreamPlay is basically taking that exact same human logic and applying it to a digital landscape. It's a blank canvas for collective progress.
Moving on to Section 2, claiming your city lot. This is where we lay the foundation.
The sheer accessibility here is just wild. For literally $4.80, which is less than a fancy latte these days, you can claim ownership of a digital lot. Think of yourself as the land developer. You're securing your definitive place in the city. And your reward for this? As your lot generates value and activity, you actually earn a baseline yield just for providing the digital ground it sits on. You're planting your flag and democratizing your own wealth generation. How cool is that? But hey, a developer can't do it all alone, right? For another $4.80, a lot can add a manager position. Now, the manager is essentially your site foreman. They organize the lot and support the workers who are going to eventually show up. Their job is keeping the foundation ready and the activity moving. And for doing that efficiently, the manager earns a direct cut of the productivity bonuses generated on that specific lot. And finally, we have the builders themselves. For $12 per worker, you can sponsor one worker. By doing this, you're bringing the vital builders right into our digital neighborhood. Because let's face it, without workers, a lot is just empty space. But with workers, it becomes this site of massive potential energy. And as a sponsor, your specific reward is a share in the upskilling value and the digital assets that your worker creates as they learn. So all of this is captured beautifully right here in this clean little blueprint. It summarizes exactly what you do and what you get. You've got the owner claiming the lot for $4.80, the manager organizing it for another $4.80, and the workers stepping in for $12 each to learn and verify. Add all that up, and at the bottom, our active lot goal sits at exactly $120. It's totally transparent. Every role has a specific price, a super vital function, and a very clear reward. All right, Section 3, sponsoring the AI builders. This is all about education as construction. This is where it gets really interesting, because digital tasks are completely reframed as personal growth. In this city, construction isn't about pouring concrete, and a worker isn't just mindlessly clicking buttons to generate value. No, they follow a real constructive path. They sign up, they verify their identity so we know it's a real community, they complete a small initial task, and then, this is the big one, they pledge time to learn AI. Their self-improvement literally becomes the mortar holding the community together. They're upskilling themselves, and by doing that, they're increasing the capability and value of the whole neighborhood. It is such a massive win-win. Now for Section 4, lighting up the grid. Let's talk about scaling to activation. You're probably wondering right now, looking at all these individual pieces, an owner over here, a manager there, a few workers learning AI, what is the critical threshold to actually flip the switch? How does an empty plot of digital land come alive and plug into the wider economy? Well, the answer is collective participation. When exactly 10 workers are sponsored and placed on a lot, the energy peaks. That's our critical mass. The moment that 10th worker pledges to learn and verify, boom, that single lot officially lights up. It completely transforms from a passive piece of digital land into a highly active, vibrating node in the city's network. And if we return to our clean architecture, the math is incredibly straightforward. 10 workers at $12 each, that equals $120. So $120 is the precise, totally accessible goal required to fully fund and activate that specific piece of the grid. This isn't some arbitrary corporate valuation. It's a direct reflection of human capital. 10 real people upskilling, creating a community goal that's actually easy to understand and reach. Which brings us to Section 5, the belief chain journey, taking the macro view.
Take a look at this belief chain arc. It beautifully visualizes how these micro actions we've been talking about don't just happen in a vacuum. Claiming, sponsoring, learning, they all scale up through 8 interconnected steps into a massive engine of shared value creation. Starting from the belief change challenge and moving right through tokenization and the value creation engine, you can literally see how your individual participation is the catalyst. That initial small pledge of $4.80 or 12 chains, together, moving clockwise, until it culminates in endless global impact. This city isn't just a grid on a screen. It's a living, breathing cycle.
And those lit up lots, they eventually power some seriously vibrant economic hubs. What do you actually get when the city is built? Well, you get the Guardian Store, the main sales engine for digital goods. You get the Global Startup League, which is this amazing arena for innovators to shine. And ultimately, you get shared value creation, the legacy of stronger communities. It just goes to show that individual contributions at the lot level really do scale into a functional, equitable economy where rewards are actually shared by the people who built it. I want to highlight this quote directly from the source material because it perfectly captures the journey of our explainer today. The more workers we sponsor, the more lots light up. The more lots light up, the more the city comes alive. It is literally an unstoppable chain reaction of progress. It's a great reminder that technology and tokens are really just tools. It's the human element coming together step by step that actually breathes life into the whole system.
So as you think about this transparent architecture we've explored today, watching an empty grid become a thriving ecosystem powered by AI education, I want to leave you with one thought. What part will you play in laying the foundation of tomorrow's digital economy? Are you going to step up as an owner claiming space, a manager organizing the chaos, or maybe a sponsor empowering workers to learn and build? The blueprint is drawn, but it's totally up to you to decide how you'll help build this city. Thanks so much for exploring this with me today.